Josh Fuller, what are you doing? Oh, they're all quarreling. Hmm. I know. Right. Yeah, it's all it's totally out of control, everything, you know? They do. Right. That I know. It's kind of like the Premier League, I guess, and does that kind of. If you're crappy, they drop you out of the league to a lesser league. Yeah, I know. Make them all accountable. Exactly. No kidding. No kidding. I think so. Look at players when their contract year's up, they have their best year. Amazing. And their worst year's the next. Yeah, no, exactly. That's screwed up. I love it that he's doing that shit. Exactly. Yep. Yep. $1 trillion. Oops. Hey, yeah. Hey, what, Josh? I hate to cut you off, but I'm about to start a Zoom meeting and my client just came on, so I'm gonna have to roll. Okay, thanks. Bye. Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Um, Hello.
I can hear you. Okay. Which one of you is Cassy? That's Cassy. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. And this is your SSP,
Yes, Magali Perez.
Magali Perez. Nice to meet you, Magali. How do you spell that?
Magali.
Magali. Magali Perez. Awesome. Awesome. Well, nice to meet you.
You as well.
Yeah, good, good. Well, Cassie, we got you in, you know. That was
I
awesome. That was awesome. That was awesome. So I'm glad to hear that. Magali, can you do me a favor? Could I get your email? Is it real complicated?
it's not too bad. So it's my first name, Magali,
Magali. Okay.
underscore
Underscore
Perez, Perez,
Peerez. Okay.
at Sanger USD.
Is that Sanger?
Correct.
Sanger? Okay. Sanger USD.
Correct. .net.
All right. And would you be comfortable sharing a cell phone?
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
773
773
895
895
1522.
1522. Awesome. Okay. Beautiful. Well, this meeting will be in two parts. It'll be real quick with you, Molly. I just kind of want to go over the SSP, your role, and then you can go ahead and say goodbye. It's Friday, and then I'll talk with Cassie about the class in particular.
Sounds good.
Okay, so I do have a little slide thing here. Let me pull this up, share my screen. Right. Now, Molly, have you ever worked with National or been an SSP before?
No, not with National. And it is actually my first time as a mentor in our district.
Oh, okay, awesome, awesome. All right. Well, what I'm going to do is just kind of go over what Cassie's going to be doing and what your role is in there. Your role with me is very limited. It's mostly with Cassie. Okay. But it's important to know exactly, what she's going to be doing so you can have an idea when you peek over her shoulder or whatever. Um, but she is an intern, right? Cassie, you're an intern. Yep. So you're in the class all by yourself, right? Kind of?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. That's a good way to do it. Well, I've been with National since 2004. I've been in the credential. I taught a lot of education class, but I've been in the credential, this particular teaching thing for about 4 years now, and it's growing. Every year, it's a little bit different. So that's me. I was a chemistry teacher for 32 years. I did both of them at the same time. And Cassie, what are you teaching?
Eighth grade science.
Okay. And Magali, I assume you're teaching as well?
Yeah, eighth grade science as well.
Okay, you guys both middle school. That's a great, a different, definitely kids, right?
Yeah.
They're interesting.
High school teachers hate middle school, and it seems like middle school teachers say, "I have never do high school." It's kind of interesting, um, but I don't know how you guys feel. It really doesn't matter. Um, but basically, I got kind of your background now. Just the responsibilities, just so you know here. My responsibility is to provide appropriate handbooks to each of you guys. Now, Cassie, have you gone into the class and seen the handbook?
Yes,
Okay. Can you provide one to Magali?
Sure you did.
I shared one.
Okay. All right. Here's the thing with the handbooks. Don't read them, okay? Unless you need them.
Sounds good.
Because otherwise it's like, oh, if so here's the thing. If you have a question about National, go to the table of contents. And if you can't find it in there, then reach out to me. Okay, there is a reference. One thing I am going to need from you, Magali, is what we call a bi-weekly report. That's every other week. So it's twice a month. And I'm going to send you the form. It's real simple. It just has about 5 categories, and you just check off great, um, average, or horrible. It's just a quick little check thing. So it's
Yep.
real easy for you to do. If you can get that to me, twice a month would be great. And basically, what I'm going to be doing is I'm monitoring Cassie's coursework. Okay. You're in there in the trenches with her to whatever degree that is. So it's kind of like, Cassie's getting it from two different people. Okay. So that's basically what's going on. We have what we call PLC meetings once a month, and this is one of them. Okay. Magali, you don't have to ever attend those again.
Okay. Sounds great.
Not to worry. Basically, your role is just to provide guided um, responsibility, and this says student teacher, but it's supposed to be intern. Responsibility to Cassie, whether she's fully immersed in now, or whether you're in there with her, or whether it's kind of some kind of mixture. That's between the two of you. Okay. So don't worry about the student teacher hours. What Cassie will be doing is what we call ISV hours, and I'll go over these with her. So ISV hours are she has to do about 144 per term, and basically anything outside of teaching the class, department meetings, meetings with you, meetings with parents, um, whatever counts as an ISV hour.
Okay.
Okay, so she'll have to do those, and I'll discuss those with her in a little more detail. Okay, so just to kind of look at, see, this thing is all set up for the 550, but they're pretty much the same. What she's going to be doing in 650, it's 4 months, right? So we're starting in February, March, April, May. When's your last day of teaching kids, Cassy?
That's gonna be June.
I think it's about June 9th.
Okay, so this class will be done with that. But basically, here's kind of what goes on. She's going to have a lesson plan submitted to me once a month, and then she's going to videotape that lesson and annotate it. Okay, every month she does it. So one lesson plan submitted to me and one videotape of that lesson. Okay, she's also going to have what we call a running record of the TPEs. And basically, what that is, she's just keeping track of the TPEs that she happens to be doing during any point during her day. It's called a running record. And there's 6 TPEs. Actually, now there's 7. And each one has about anywhere from 6 to 8 categories. So there's a lot of TPEs. And anytime you're teaching and you consciously know I'm doing TPE 1.1 or 1.2, she's going to make a little record of it. We call it a running record. Okay. So that's what she does every month. One lesson plan, a video of that lesson, a running record, okay, and then recording her ISV hours.
Couple of questions.
Yes.
For the video, is there a minimum length of the video? Because our current periods are 2 hours long. That'd be a really long video.
It would
So
be. It would be. Most students, most of my interns do about 30 minutes of their lesson.
okay.
Okay. It is what it is. Obviously, 5 minutes is too short, 2 hours is too long. So if you're doing it's one lesson, right? So
Yeah.
if that whole lesson takes 2 hours, I guess you're going to videotape the whole 2 hours. But I think I have never had one come in that long. Most people break up a 2 hour block day into maybe a lecture and then a lab situation or something like that. So I would encourage you just to do one or the other.
Okay. And then for the TPE running records, is there a specific format or
Yeah, there is. She'll have it. She'll have it. I'm going to talk with her about it. I encourage her to print it out and have it on your desk and make notes at the moment, because otherwise, when you get home and you try to remember things, it probably is not quite as effective. So, yeah, it's a printout, and she'll have that for you to see.
Perfect.
Again, you don't have to worry about any of that.
It's all me.
Your whole job is just to support Cassy.
Sounds good.
And I'm supporting her with classwork. So it's a team affair. Okay.
All right.
Now, couple of things to go over. And again, this is geared for student teaching, but the internship, it's the same thing. I mean, this is a full-time job. You're there every day, right? It sounds like you teach, Cassy, from 8:10. Is that when you start?
Well, 8:30. Yeah.
Our duty day is from 8:10 to 3:40.
Okay. And you're off at 3:30. Is that when the bell rings? And then you got 10 minutes of supervision, probably?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so obviously, here's where we're coming from. We don't like you to have too many absences at all. We like to keep it around 3. But if it's 4 or 5, I mean, if you get sick, you get sick, right? But what I would prefer from Cassy is let me know, text me if you're not going to be teaching a certain day. That's all I need.
Okay.
If it turns into an issue, Magdalene, you're going to be aware of it much sooner than me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So, but if there are issues or things coming up, it's just not clicking, I'm sure you'll let me know. Cassy, how long have you actually been in the classroom?
In this classroom, this is going to be, I'm technically in here my 3rd year.
Okay. It's
Right.
interesting because I find that with all my interns is they've been doing this for a couple of years.
Yeah.
I've had a few interns where this is their first time in the classroom.
I did like the first year as a long-term sub,
Mhm.
so I don't know if I count that or not, but I was in here.
Well, no, that's teaching, and substitute teaching is a whole different ball of wax, as you know. So, but it's good to hear that you have good experience. So, I'm sure if we talked about your first time you walked in the class versus now, we'd have two different stories, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's good to know. That makes it really smooth and easy. I don't really anticipate any problems if you've been in there for a couple years, because if it wasn't working for you, you probably would have left it.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, now a couple of things. One thing for you, Magali, is your payment. I don't know whether you're going to be paid by national or by your school.
Should be by our district, yeah.
Okay, so national won't be paying you.
I don't think so, no.
Okay, okay. I'm going to send you though, in case that is the case. I mean, maybe your school's paying you, but maybe national is going to pay you. I don't know. Um, but I'm going to send you some forms that you can fill out online if you need to.
Okay,
Okay, so if you need to get to that, just let me know, because certainly want you to get every penny that you deserve, right?
thank you. Sounds
Okay.
good.
So basically, just so you kind of in review, is that you know what Cassie's going to be doing. Your role is to support her, not to support me. The only way you're supporting me is by giving me the biweekly reports, and that term always confuses people. It's just twice a month, and that's really all you have to do for me.
Okay,
Okay. And that's it. And then otherwise, you're supporting Cassie.
okay, sounds good.
Okay. And Cassie, this is actually 650B for you,
Oh,
or is it A? I'd have to look at my records. Maybe
I
it's
think
A.
I think this is
This is your first national class, right?
as an intern, yeah.
as an intern, yes.
Yeah, okay. So this is 650A. So one thing you're also going to be doing is seminar classes, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
okay. We'll talk about those in just a few minutes. So, but Magali, do you have any questions for me?
No, I think that was all clear. Makes sense.
Pretty simple, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. You're free to go start your weekend.
Thank you.
And Cassie, we'll go through the class a little bit, okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
Thank you
Nice,
very much. It
nice
was
meeting you,
Thank
Magali.
you.
Okay,
You
bye-bye.
have a great weekend.
You too. All right. Cassie, let's pull up the class here. Everything
Okay.
going okay with you?
Yes, it has been really good.
Awesome. And how long have you been at this school here?
3 years, I suppose. But this is the school that I went to middle school. This is my middle school.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. And this is up in Sanger,
correct.
which is up basically that Fresno belt. Is that where
Mm.
Sanger is? It's kind of up the 99.5 freeway up there. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And so what high school did you go to?
I went to Sanger High.
All right. Okay. Did you do any sports?
I, if you count cheer, I did cheer.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now did you go into teaching right after you graduated?
No. It's actually taken me a long time to get into the credential program.
Okay.
I've just been nervous.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Nervous about, I mean, do you have any regrets?
Um, I try not to. I'm pushing past that. But I mean, I guess there's always a little bit of regret. I wish I had started sooner. I wish I had wasn't afraid of all of this.
Okay.
But
But now you're in it and this is
now
what
I'm in
you
it.
want to do.
Yeah, now I'm in it. I'm happy. I'm happy with my choices, and it's
Okay.
okay. It is what it is. I can't change anything.
Okay. Well, if you don't mind me saying, you seem really young.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's why I was asking, did you start when you were like 22 or 23? Um, okay, great.
I,
Okay.
it took me, well, okay. I got my bachelor's in 2018, and now I'm barely starting my credential.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Your kids probably relate to you well because they're going to see you almost at the same level, right?
Mhm.
because you do have a very young appearance, which can help you or hinder you. Um,
And helping.
yeah.
But it does hinder sometimes, I will admit.
Well, to be an authority figure, that's the only part that I could see where it might be an issue.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It has been. I've actually had to have a student taken out of my class because for our school, they send out a letter saying that I'm still getting my credentials. So all the parents know. And one of the students knew that they got that letter. And she passed around a note to a couple students in class saying how I don't have all my degrees and I shouldn't be a teacher and I shouldn't even be in this classroom.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. And so after that, she just would not listen to me. She would do nothing. So I would have to log it. I would call home. I talked to my admin. I talked to the counseling center. And after maybe a month or so, they got her out of this classroom.
Okay. Yeah. That's unusual. You're probably not going to run into that, but you know, um, it's just an observation. So
Yeah.
I think my guess is your kids probably like you a lot. You have a lot of energy. You're youthful, and so they relate to that really well. So that's just an observation. So it sounds to me like things are going well for you. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I
Uh,
hope.
Okay, so let's just kind of go through the course real quick here.
Yeah,
Okay, and you've been on this. This looks familiar to you.
correct.
Your view may be a little different than my view. Okay. But a couple of things that I do want to point out
Mhm.
is this is one part that's brand new, this course attendance affirmation. Have you done that?
I did, I believe.
Okay,
I
good.
did. I submitted it.
Okay, it
Um,
doesn't show up on my end, so I don't know.
oh, I submitted two because I accidentally put the wrong name for my SSP for the first one. So it's the
Okay,
second one.
okay, all right. Okay, good. Um, Now, this is your ISV verification area. I don't know if it pops up the same for you, but I'm assuming it does. So here's the directions on how to upload your ISV hours. Okay,
Oh,
because
like how to log it?
yeah, how to log it and how it shows up on my end. Okay.
That's all the writing in there, correct?
Yeah. I've never had a student.
What?
Hello?
What's that?
Hello? 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 Can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me
Hello?
now?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. Let me know if this fades out.
Okay. It was weird. I heard a different voice, not
That-
yours or mine.
That's weird. Okay, but we're good now, right?
Okay. Yes. But
Okay.
I didn't catch any of that. I'm so sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, basically, you can see there's four months in here.
Correct.
Every month is the same.
Mhm.
Okay. I put all the due dates in here. So when you go to course home, they're all right here.
Is that one saying that there is a lesson plan due on the 9th?
Hmm.
What is that?
Okay, we're gonna go over that.
Oh, okay, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll go over these. So,
Okay.
but these are basically your due dates. Okay, so let's go through this now. Okay, this is your lesson plan. And it's gonna tell you where to get the template. Okay, it's right here. Okay, so if I click on this,
And would you prefer I complete it on the Word doc that it opens up on?
yeah,
Okay.
I do.
Gotcha.
Now there is a password for this. I think it's NUTPA or NUTPE. You should be provided with that. Okay, you might want to jot those down. It's all caps.
I I opened it up already.
Oh, okay,
But
so you're good. You're good. Okay,
it was NTPU.
something like that. Yeah, it might be different for you. But
Okay, I
if you open it up, you should be good.
I already opened up and I opened up template A,
Okay. So you see what the template looks like, right?
correct. And I
Now,
saw the
one thing that's really important when you do your lesson plan, I want you to get the rubric out. Have you had a chance to look at the rubric?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's really important. In fact, I encourage you to either print out the rubric and have it next to you, or if you have two screens, you can go from one screen to the other. Okay. Because here's the thing, when you're writing your lesson plan, I want you to look at the rubric and then put what you need into the template. Don't look at the template because the template doesn't contain everything the rubric does, or it's kind of buried in there a little bit. Okay. So, in other words, when I pull up the rubric here, if I can make this bigger. Okay. All right, here's the rubric. So basically, you make sure that all of these things in this first box under lesson overview are in your template. Okay.
Mhm.
So um, and then when you go down to content of lesson, look at the rubric. I would actually almost copy and paste this first thing into your template if it's not already in there. And we'll take a look at the template and then respond. And then describe what they will deeply understand. Copy and paste this into your template if it's not already in there. And just go down the line here. Make sure you address every one of these. Okay? If you do that, you're going to be fine on credit. By not looking at the rubric, there's a tendency to miss things.
Mhm.
That's simple. So
Mhm.
you can see the rubric has this box, content of lesson, assessment, checking for understanding. Now, one thing that the Cal TPA looks for when you check for understanding and assessment, they're looking for not really a holistic assessment. They want to know 70% is required on this task or 80%. They want a number.
Oh,
So when you're saying, um, describe criteria used of the lesson to determine if students have met your lesson. Okay, when you're doing this one right here, you're going to state in your summary that my criteria is to pass, you need 70%. They like numbers.
okay.
Okay, just that's all.
And that's in this section of assessment slash checking for understanding, correct?
Yes, checking for assessment, checking for understanding.
All those bullet points are.
Uh-huh. But really only the third one here is where they ask for how will you determine if they've met your goal.
Thank you.
Okay. And then student structured activities. Here's where you go through your activities. Now, one thing that's really important, see these boldface words?
Mhm.
I would make sure those boldface words show up in your verbiage. That
Mm.
catches eyes. So in other
Oh,
words, when you're writing a sentence or two about uh, when you're describing the learning activity, I would copy and paste this boldface word and put it in there.
gotcha. And like kind of work your way around it with it in there.
Yeah, yeah, you got it. Okay. And then introduction to support learning is the last category. And as long as you have every one of these in there, you're going to get full credit. Now, I want you to remember these boldface words for later on today, okay? When I say boldface words, you'll come back to them. Now, let's go back here. I still got you here. I didn't lose you? Okay.
Correct.
Sometimes you never know on these things. Okay, what I'm going to do, just to show you, I'm going to go to another class where they've already done these things. It always loads up a little slower when I'm online in a Zoom. Okay.
Of course, right?
Yep, of course. Okay, we're gonna go here. This is another one of my interns. This is Michaela. She's a powerful teacher. Oh my
I
gosh.
saw her. I watched the video from your
Oh,
guys'
you
meeting.
did? Okay, yeah, yeah. No, she's amazing. Okay.
Wanted to get prepared for today.
All right, good for you. Okay, I'm gonna pull up her lesson plan. Okay. Now over here is my feedback. And basically on my feedback here, I just literally copy the rubric. Okay. And I paste it in here. And if it's in green, you did it. Purple is a little suggestion. Suggests that you use a number to measure degree of achievement. That's what I just mentioned, right? Like 70%. She didn't do that. I just made a
But it was still good.
yeah. And if it's red, see, she didn't
Hmm.
have any red, but anything that she didn't do, I would color red.
I would imagine she didn't. I saw that got 100%.
Yep. So let's actually pull up her lesson plan here. Okay, now one thing you want to make sure when you pull up your lesson plan, make sure you look at this right across here. This lesson plan is for either 550A or 650A. You're 650A, so you know you're good. Observations 1, 2, or 3. So for the first 3 months, you're using the same lesson plan template. When you get to month 4, if you're using the same one, it's the wrong one. It'll say in here, instead of 1, 2, and 3, it'll say 4 only.
Gotcha.
So just that's how you know you're not messing up on the lesson plans there. Okay. So here's lesson overview, type of lesson. Okay, completing the circuits, yada yada.
For
Okay.
my grade level, would I just put eighth? I see she has 9 through 12.
Yeah, yeah, because she teaches. That's what she teaches. Yeah, you
Okay. Just
put
wanted to
down what
clarify.
you teach. Yeah.
Thank you.
So as you can see, this is how the lesson plan template looks. And here is, I bet if I went over here to the rubric, identified at least one content standard. Okay, we did that already. Okay, learning goal. Those are the ELD goals. Learning goal, see learning goal right here.
Mhm.
Grade level appropriate specific learning goals. These words don't necessarily match up, do they?
Hmm.
That's why you want to be careful. And if when you're looking at the rubric, if this verbiage is not in here or something close to it, you need to probably add it. You don't have to simply paste and measure this whole thing in here. Just be careful that when I'm reading through here, I'm going to be looking at this rubric
Okay.
and see where it says and is measurable. How do you measure whether they did it?
Percentage.
There you go. So see, even though you're just putting learning goals, if you're not paying attention to the rubric, you're going to forget to mention how you're going to measure it. That make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
But one thing I do want to clarify,
Mhm.
the copy and paste that you were talking about, you mean in the writing, in my specific writing, correct? Or do you,
Yeah, what I mean is the copy and paste couple of things. Um,
yeah,
under here, where it's in gray, okay, if this seems to be missing something that's in the rubric, like is measurable, you might want to go up here and copy and paste measurable.
gotcha. Okay, I see.
But
Okay.
what you want to be careful of is to make sure, because the template is very short, the rubric's a little more detailed. Just don't forget the detail. And if you don't copy and paste here, that's fine. I'm not going to ding you, but I'm going to be looking here for it. But by the fact that you wrote in here, if you copied this and went over here, and I don't know if I could paste it, I probably can't work on that. Then I would know you definitely are going to have it in your words.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you're just going to go through here. Here's your ELD goals right there. That's the next part of the rubric.
Okay, I see the flow.
Yeah, right. Okay, perfect. So that's how you write your lesson plan.
Okay.
Now, um, one thing she didn't do in here, but she did in her annotation, she didn't boldface keywords. So if there's keywords that are appropriate, probably not so much in here. Let's see if I can find one. That might be. Okay, deeply understand. See that? Students will deeply understand. Misunderstanding concepts, that's another one. Misunderstandings, conceptions right there. It's here.
So you prefer misunderstanding or misconceptions bolded, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. It just catches eyes. And
Yeah.
Cal TPA likes that a lot too.
Good to
Keep
know.
in mind, there are people that are going through these very fast. If they have to dig around for you, hmm, that they're probably on their 30th lesson plan, they're just going, oh, good Lord. And they get sloppy and lazy. It's just kind of a natural thing. So anytime you can draw attention to it by bold facing keywords, I think you're gonna, number one, it's as you as a teacher, if you're following your lesson plan and you have it on your table, you're gonna remember that. A grader like me or Cal TPA is gonna see that. And a lot of times they won't even read a lot of your stuff. They say, oh, she's got it in there. She's on top of it. They're gonna skim through these. That's human nature. So that's the only thing on the lesson plans, okay? And you notice that this template here, at the bottom of the template is your rubric.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's where I saw the rubric. I didn't see that other one that you pulled up, but I
Right.
know they're the same. I know they're the same.
Yeah, they are the same. So, that's if, but it's tough to go back and forth, here. Oh, okay. Did I get that in the rubric? Oh, let me go check. That's why it's better just to have it a printed copy next to you.
Thank you.
Okay. Any questions on the lesson plan?
Not that I can think of at the moment,
Okay. If
but
they
I
do,
feel like I might.
if they do, we can come back.
Thank you.
Okay. So let's go back up to here. Make sure I'm still on Michaela's. Nope, I'm on yours. Okay, don't want that one. Okay, here's Michaela. Okay, now I want to show you the biggest pain in the butt part of your dealing with me is the annotated video. So I'm going to show you hers. And I think you may have already seen this, but it's good to point out. Good to hear it a second time.
Yes.
Are you in your
Oh,
classroom right now?
yes, I am.
Awesome. Kids are all gone, right?
Oh yeah, they're all gone.
What time do they lock up the school? They keep it open for a few hours? So you're not
We usually lock up like 3:45.
okay. I mean, you feel safe in your classroom?
Oh yeah, you kind of see.
Oh yeah, awesome. There you go. Good old
Yeah.
class. Okay, so and I did this in the video, so will be a repeat, but it's okay. When you upload your video into Go React, you, okay, she's got a strong voice, huh? She didn't mess
Yeah.
around. She's a shop teacher. Anyway, your video will be over here, and this will all be blank.
Okay.
So here's what she did. When she started the video, and see right there, 0 time, she's telling me what's going on at the beginning of her video. Because I could watch her video and I could listen to her video, but I'm in the camera. It's hard for me to really get a feel for what's going on. So she's going to tell me what's going on. So what she says is, you notice down here, these little dots? She's going to pick one of these. These are the 6 categories of TPEs. So she's going to click that and bring it up here. So I know she's starting off with TPA 2. Okay. And now she's going to tell me what she's doing. So I can read this, watch it, and I got a real good picture. See boldface words? I told you, remember this? This is where it really comes into play. If I didn't read this, I would know that she's working with paired or groups in this. So that really helps me zero in on what she's doing. So you make use of boldface keywords in your annotation. Now, I'm going to make a comment. And now notice the second one. Now, at 3 minutes and 21 seconds, she decided to make another annotation. Here's what you want to think of. If something changes, that's a good time to make an annotation. I don't need to hear your goings on for the entire lesson. If something changes, stop your video and talk about it. So at 3 minutes, 21 seconds, if I click on this, see it'll automatically move over there.
Oh, you mean transition to like a new activity, something changes.
Yeah, exactly. For an activity.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
at 3:21, she's doing something different.
Yes.
Okay, now it could be this is an activity, it could be a change in the lecture, anything that's different. And now
Okay.
this is TPE 1. So I know adjusted instruction. She for some reason had to adjust her instruction. Now I can read about it, but it really helps me power into what she's doing. Now at 7 minutes, something changed. What is it? Oh, she's talking about expectations.
How was that class behaving that day? Oh my goodness.
She's talking about what she's, her expectations. And in
Very
lab situations, it's perfect. And
good.
notice bold is expectations. Beautiful. I love this. Now at 7 minutes, 9 seconds, redirected. Ah, she had to redirect for some reason. Okay, remember, this is just telling me what's going on.
Mhm.
Okay. You certainly don't have to do it, you don't have to follow anybody's lesson but yours. You're just telling me what's going on. You're breaking it up. You're including which TPE you're using. Okay, and so at 7:39, she decided to make another comment. And see, some of her comments are pretty short, and some of them are like, oh my God, like that one. That's really long, short. So it's just a good mix.
What are you kind of looking for? Or is there a requirement?
No, there's no requirement, and it's not quantity over quality. I want quality. Okay, so I mean, if put it this way, I've had interns where all they do is one sentence the whole way down. Um, that kind of tells me that they're flying through it a little quick. This is a good mix.
Okay. Have like a good mix of, okay.
Yep. See, engaged, multiple strategies. So this probably tells me without reading or listening that she realizes that she needs to engage all her students by using multiple ways to engage them. Because not every class is the same level of learners, right?
Mhm. I saw her first big paragraph and it kind of freaked me out, but now knowing
Yeah,
it's so
exactly.
okay.
Directed instruction. Okay, now she's probably given really pinpoint instruction and so on. Multiple instruction strategies. She actually accompanied in her mind 2 TPEs. Okay.
Okay.
Check for understanding. That's under the assessment, which is what TPE 5 is all about, checking for understanding. Praise, positive reinforcement. She's using that. I get a real good idea what kind of teacher she is simply by her annotations. Now you can see the annotations are going to take a while.
Mhm.
Okay. So here, filming your lesson and performing your lesson is one thing. By the way, if your lesson goes south, don't refilm it. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not grading how well you execute a lesson. Put it on there and you can talk about why it went south. Right? So this is where you're going to spend your time as you go through your annotations. And again,
And
you don't have to sit down and crank this all out in 30 minutes or whatever it takes. this gives you the ability to type some verbiage in. And, oh, phone rings, I got to go. Come back to it because it saves it. You can come back 20 minutes later and pick up where you left off.
Okay, so I've looked at the lesson plan, but I didn't look at it too closely. So for all of the lessons, is there going to be a requirement for what the lesson should be?
No,
Is it whatever I'm teaching that day?
whatever you're teaching that day.
Okay.
So the one requirement is the lesson you submit needs to be the lesson you're teaching.
That's the only requirement.
That's the only requirement.
Okay.
So that's why I like to get the lesson a week before you teach it, the lesson plan, so I can review it and you'll see it before you actually film it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You notice the due dates, like this lesson plan is due next week, I think, the 9th, like that's what, Sunday?
Yeah. Isn't
And
that
then,
this Sunday?
and then the video is due a week later or somewhere around there.
Okay, so the paperwork of what I'm going to teach next week.
You're going to turn in, you're going to write a lesson plan. Let's just play with this a little bit. Say you write a lesson plan tonight. Hope you have something better to do on Friday than do that. But let's just say you're going to write a lesson plan tonight, and then you're going to submit it this weekend. When you submit it, I get notified. I go in and grade it. So you can go back and make sure that you didn't miss any of the rubric. Then at some point next week, you're going to teach that lesson, maybe on Thursday or maybe on Friday. And then you're going to annotate it and submit it by the deadline.
Okay.
That's how it plays out.
Sounds good.
Any questions on that?
I'm just a little nervous just because we're starting a new unit. Oh, sorry. Custodial staff. We're starting a new, not unit, but we're having a new curriculum. So everything has been so day by day. It's hard for us to plan. So, but I can do it. I can do it. It's doable.
Okay. You know what? Just do the best you can. That's all I care about. I'm not grading you on what you teach. I'm grading you on your ability to critique what you teach.
Okay.
That's what the annotation. You are critiquing yourself. You're telling me as an eyeball outside of the class what you're doing. You're telling me about the TPEs you're covering.
Okay. So the lesson itself and everything, it does matter, but the main thing is the TPEs and the self-reflection.
Right. Self-reflection.
Gotcha.
And even if it came to the point where you submitted a lesson and for whatever reason, the day you're videotaping, something happened and you have to teach a different lesson, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Okay. Because life happens, especially in teaching. You got to be able to adjust. So, if it's a different lesson than what you wrote one time or whatever, that's okay. Don't sweat it.
Just let you know. And
Just let me know. Yeah, I would appreciate a text that for some reason, Mr. Lux, the lesson that I videotape is not the lesson I wrote because of whatever. Okay, I'm not going to make you go back. You got plenty to do. Okay, not worry about that. Okay, now I'm going to go through and I'm going to just make comments like you can see here. Okay. And now another thing I'm going to do, this is kind of important that you understand this. See where it says rubrics? You're not going into here, but I am. And what you're going to see is these are all the TPs. TP 1.1, 1.2, yada, yada, right? All 6 of them are in here. Okay. Now I'm going to go through here and I'm going to assign a score. Okay. For example, TP 1.1. Okay. Apply knowledge of students, including prior experiences, interest, socioeconomic learnings, yada, yada. I never saw that in her video. So I'm just going to put a 0. I didn't observe it. It doesn't mean it's an F. It doesn't mean anything. It just means it wasn't in there, and that's okay because there's no way in heck you're going to cover every TPE in your lesson. You'd be super teacher, right? And it would take forever. But this one connects subject matter to real life context and provide. She did it, and I gave her a score that she's applying, better than emerging, developing, or not as good as integrating. She's applying it, so I gave her a 3. And then here, so on, I gave her a 4. A 4. Lots of 4s. I make some comments. Okay. 0 here. Know how to access resources, support students. Yeah, I never saw it. It's not a bad thing, but I just didn't see it. So when it all is said and done, if this thing is worth 184 points right here, she got 123. That's not a grade. It's not a
Oh,
grade by any stretch of the imagination. It doesn't matter what this number here on the left is. The number on the right is always 184. This doesn't matter. What matters is on her next lesson, she might do a better job with the TPEs that she taught. So this number will go up. So it's just, she's improving. That's all.
mhm.
She's improving. And if this number
Okay,
goes
so
down,
it's like a self-reflection thing.
yeah, it's just a reflection. It's not a grade.
Okay.
So don't freak out by this number here. Okay.
Okay.
And it doesn't go into the grade book. I mean, yeah, I don't think it really affects it. So that's how those roll. Now, the one last thing I would do want to show you.
Oh, how did you get there? How would I get there? I'm sorry.
How do you get to
Oh,
this?
right there. Sorry, we're good.
Yeah, okay, you're good.
Yeah.
That's confusing. Yeah, it's right here. Observation, you'll click on this tab and it will tell you how to upload it. Okay, gives you all the directions how to upload your video.
Okay.
Okay.
It's its own little site, correct? It's its own little website.
Yeah, exactly. It's called Go React.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, oops, wrong one. Let's go to the running record. We'll finish off with this. Okay. Here's where you get your template for the running record. It tells you directions. Here's where you're going to find it. This is what it'll look like in the gradebook. Okay. So these are my comments. Okay. Notice I didn't comment on every TPE. It was 1.3. And what happened to 1.4, 1.5, 1.6? Guess what? She didn't do them. That's okay, because it's just a running record, right? So if you actually look at her running record here, okay, notice she has some entries, no entry here. That's okay. She never covered this. You don't have to cover every TPE, right? But when she did, when she recognized that she was doing, applying knowledge of students, whatever, she wrote a little comment in here in red. That's why it's good to have this printed out next to you. So,
Oh, this is the one that you were saying to have.
yeah,
Okay.
this is one, the rubric was one thing, but this is the running record. It's just good to keep this handy because it's easier to remember if you're doing a TPE at the moment, if you have time during a class.
How could I access this page?
This page is under content.
And then TPE running record month 1, maybe?
Yeah, that's exactly where it's at. That's right. Under content here at the top, see all your little blue tabs up here? If you hit content, this is where you're going to get all your things. And under month 1 right here, running record. Click on that. Pulls up the directions. Go to running record month 1, and this is where you're going to get it.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so let's go back to the running record here. Let's see if it went away. Oh, there it is. Well, go back here. Now, I had one intern that in month 1, they filled out almost every running record thing. Okay, every one of these boxes was filled out. I'm going, okay, what are you going to do from here on? Are you done? So here's the thing, Cassy. You may get to the end of 4 months and have TPEs that you never addressed, and that's fine. You want to address as many of these as possible, but you don't have to fill out every one.
Okay.
And you're dividing it through 4 months. So let's just say there's 60 categories here. That's like maybe you might do 15 entries a month if you want to average it out. Okay. And see, they color coded up here for you. So when you're in the red month, I mean, when you're in the first month, it's going to be red. The second month, it's going to be green. Well, I'm sorry, for interns. The first month will be red. Second month will be green. So any entries during the second month are in green. Third month, they're in blue. And the last month, they're in black. Okay. So as an example, she's almost done with this. Running record month 3. Because this is the same thing. You just keep uploading it. It's not a different running record. It's just a
Same
update.
one.
Yeah, update. Okay. Now there's blue.
Mm-hmm.
So that was done during month 3 because month 3 is blue.
So jealous.
And there's a green. So that was during month 2. So you put an entry in there. And again, some students are very brief. Some are long. You know, this one was a little bit short. A good mix is good. Okay. So basically, she's telling me here in this entry, she put the date. She said on November 20th, right here in red, I created and taught a lesson using the CTE California state standards on basic electricity, and that lines up with exactly what this TPE is. So she's just talking about what she did. It's a mental note, keeping track. When I became a teacher, none of this existed. And it was basically, it was fly by the seat of your pants teaching. These TPEs, even though they're cumbersome, they're a great framework for showing you how to teach. Not what to teach, how to teach. Because that's the bottom line. Your kids are going to remember how you taught. They're going to forget everything you taught them. They're going to remember how you taught them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the beauty of teaching that you're going to experience in your career, that you're going to affect so many kids that you'll never know. But some of them come back and tell you how much they appreciated what you did.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's awesome when that happens.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember I was at the Stagecoach Country Festival where there's 90,000 people there. And I'm walking, it's a 3-day festival, and I'm walking with a cowboy hat, with a beer in my hand. And I hear, Mr. Lux. I'm going, you got to be kidding me. And it was 2 of my students from 10 years ago who came running up to me. How they picked me out of the crowd is amazing. But they wanted to come up and tell me that they loved my class.
That is amazing.
It is amazing, and it's amazing. I've run into students all over the world in Virgin Islands. I mean, you would be amazed, and that's just a fraction of how many that you will connect with, and that's why we teach because it's just you can't top it. There's nothing better than that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So anyway, um, and all this does is show you how to teach, not what to teach.
Gotcha.
That's
Okay.
really the point of it. So that's the class in a nutshell.
Okay.
Okay. So the only thing that differs is at the end of the 4 months, you're going to do a reflection video. We'll talk about that in the PLC meetings. Uh,
Okay.
you've been here long enough, but I think you have a good idea of what to do. And do you have my phone number?
Yes, I do.
Okay, feel free to call, text, email. Text work.
Would would you be okay if I text you right now just so you have my number? I'm gonna say
Yeah,
Cassy.
I would love that because
Okay.
I do group text. I do reminders because I have about 4 interns and they're all at various stages, but we do our PLC meetings all together.
Okay. I
So I
like it.
just send out a mass reminder. Okay, we're doing our PLC meeting today because it's a good way to reflect and run ideas and experiences with other students in other parts.
That
Uh,
was the one that I missed on Thursday, right?
yeah. But then you saw the video.
I was so I'm so sorry that I missed it. I am so bummed.
Cassie, oh my gosh, don't blame yourself because you didn't get enrolled in that class till that day, and I just happened to catch that you were in there. I go, oh my God, okay, she's in. I sent her a quick email. I didn't expect you to attend, so
They do.
but we did it here. So this is great, and I'm looking forward to working with you for the next because you'll have me in 650B as well.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm the newest one of your interns, correct?
Um,
They all seem pretty far along, like 3 months.
Chris is new too.
Okay.
You'll
Okay.
meet him at the next PLC. He's on the video. He's very lively. I have great interns. I mean, you guys are you're not rookies in my mind. You have the skills to really do things in your class. And one thing I'll just leave you with, um, the most important thing, the most important quality for a teacher to have. And I ask this all the time, and I get patience, compassion, yada yada yada. Those are all great. I never get the right one, which is class control. Nobody ever thinks of that, but that is paramount. If you don't have class control, you have nothing. You can't do one-on-ones. You can't, turn your back on the class, right? Class control is number one.
Hmm.
So I'm sure your class control today is quite different than day one, a couple years ago.
Probably.
I'm sure it is. It has to be.
Mhm.
I mean, I can recall one time I was late, and I was never late for school. I was always on time, but whatever happened, I was serious. I was like 20 minutes late. I'm running fast as I can down the hall, and my class obviously is all the way at the end. And I'm all stressed out, and I could see the security hovering outside my class, and they're all, "Mr. Lux, what are you doing?" I go, "I know I'm late. I'm sorry." They go, "No, no, stop. What are you doing?" I go, "What do you mean?" They go, "Look at your class." So I just peeked in the door. The class was 20 minutes late. What do you expect to see?
Chaos.
Yeah, yeah.
Chaos.
Every kid was at their desk writing. They had no instructions. They go, how do you do that? And I says, well, I have great class control.
Routine.
So yeah. So anyway, because I always tell them if there's ever a sub, I tell them what I expect. If I'm late, what I expect, and just hold to it. So,
Mhm.
but it didn't. I wasn't that way year one, year two, year three, but I got there.
I just got a great sub note just the other day. He
Yeah,
was, yeah, he's like, I could tell your kids like you.
yeah. Subs will be able to tell
Yeah,
the quality
for
of
sure.
the teacher, right?
Hmm.
End of that.
For sure.
Yeah. So anyway, um, pleasure meeting you, Cassie. I'll see you in a month. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Go ahead and send me a text right now. I'll log it. Um, you can text anytime, call during the day, but you can text anytime because my phone's always with me.
You probably will hear from me. I'm sure I'll think of some question about something.
Yep, absolutely. No problem at all.
All right.
Have
Thank
I
you so
covered anything? Is there any questions you have?
Currently now, I don't think so. I feel like my brain is a little jumbled right now. I
That's
got a lot.
okay. That's okay. And the due dates are hard lines, but with that said, life gets in the way. If you have to turn in something late, remember your expectations to your kids are my expectations to you, right?
Mhm.
Do as I do, don't do as I do, do as I ask, right? But you know what? If you need extra time, that's fine. I have no problem with that. I'll enter the grade as a 0 and change it when you turn it in. If as long as you send me a quick text, hey, Professor Lux, my lesson plan will be late by a few days. I'm good with that.
Okay.
Send me a text.
I will definitely keep that in mind, but I'm going to try not to do that.
I know.
But
I know.
I will definitely keep that in mind.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome. So pleasure meeting you. I love your little class, all your little stuff in there.
We have the moon phase right now.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Wonderful. You live close to school?
Hmm?
Do you live close to school?
No, I live in Fresno. Well, yeah, I guess so. 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay.
Not bad.
Yeah. All right.
All
All right,
right. Thank
Cassy. Enjoy your weekend.
you too. Enjoy your weekend.
All right. Thanks. Have a good
Bye.
one. Bye bye.